Projects that take part in the Oregon Community Solar Program must abide by a series of requirements related to project development and operations, as well as participant enrollment and engagement. All the program and subscriber requirements discussed in this video are detailed in the Requirements chapter of the Program Implementation Manual. Project managers are responsible for understanding and adhering to these requirements and could face disciplinary action if they violate these requirements. Note that program requirements may change over the course of the Oregon Community Solar Program. Should this happen, the program administration team will communicate all changes to registered project managers and will provide updated guidance on the program website. Project managers are responsible for staying informed about all program changes. First, we will start with the size of the project that is required to comply with the Community Solar Program. The nameplate capacity may be no less than 25 kilowatts and no larger than 3 megawatts. Project managers may choose to aggregate multiple solar electric systems and treat them as a single project if the aggregated systems are interconnected with the same utility and the aggregated capacity is no more than 3 megawatts. To provide more diversity for projects within PGE and Pacific Power service territories, a minimum of 25% of interim offering capacity is reserved for projects that are sized at 360 kilowatts or less, or that have a public or nonprofit entity as a project manager. Remember that for any size project, a minimum of 5 participants must be involved. To qualify for the Community Solar Program, a project must be located within and interconnected to the Oregon service territory of one of the major utilities, Pacific Power, Portland General Electric, or Idaho Power. If a project is installed on a building or property hosting an existing solar electric installation, the Community Solar Project must be electrically separate from the existing system. Generally, the same entity cannot develop 2 projects with a combined size greater than 3 megawatts in the same area. An exemption is made when these projects are located within a single municipality or urban area, as described in the Program Implementation Manual. It is important to note that existing solar electric projects are not eligible for the Community Solar Program. Construction of the generation equipment may not begin prior to pre-certification. The project manager must include the cost of responsibly decommissioning the project at the end of its useful life within the project's financial plan. Any permits necessary for land use must be acquired prior to applying for pre-certification. These permits include any ministerial permits, which are any non-discretionary approvals, like an electric permit, that are based on clear and objective standards, or non-ministerial permits such as conditional use permits, variances, or special orders. A non-ministerial permit is a permit in which one or more officials or agencies consider various factors in deciding whether to issue or deny permits and typically come with conditions. Any non-ministerial permit must be secured at the time of pre-certification. Note that proof of approval via documentation will be requested in the pre-certification application. Project managers must also satisfy certain interconnection criteria prior to applying for pre-certification. Most projects will need to complete an interconnection study or pass a fast-track screen, while small public or nonprofit projects will need to only pay the deposit for the study. Project managers are responsible for disclosing other entities that are known or expected to be involved in developing and operating the project. Examples include project owners, construction contractors, financial partners, and others if applicable. Contractors, partners, and affiliates may be revised after a project is pre-certified prior to project certification period. Renewable Energy Certificates, or RECs, are the accepted legal instrument through which renewable energy generation and use claims are substantiated in the U.S. renewable energy market. If the community solar project is greater than 360 kilowatts in aggregate size, you must register with the Western Renewable Energy Generation Information System to report any REC sales and report annually. If a project is less than or equal to 360 kilowatts, you may request a waiver from registering with the WREGIS when applying for pre-certification. Number and type of participants. There are specifics required to the number and type of participants that are listed in the participant eligibility requirements listed in the Program Implementation Manual. At the time of certification, the program administrator will verify the following criteria: that 50% of the project's capacity is subscribed with 5 or more participants, that no single participant owns or leases over 40% of the capacity of the project, that no more than 50% of the capacity of the project is owned or leased by a large commercial, industrial, or irrigation participants, and that a minimum of 10% of the capacity of the project is owned or leased by low-income residential participants. Customer acquisition and marketing. All project managers should review and comply with the Code of Conduct, program marketing requirements within the Program Implementation Manual. There will need to be a submission of a customer acquisition and marketing plan on how the project manager will market the project and acquire customers. In addition to marketing materials, you must submit a low-income recruitment plan at pre-certification that describes how the low-income capacity requirement will be met. If you need guidance on developing either of these plans, there is information available on the program website, oregoncsp.org. Subscriptions and ownership shares. Project managers may structure their subscriptions to fit the needs of the project and its participants if the terms of the subscription meet the program requirements. By default, subscription fees will be collected by the utility as part of a customer's normal utility bill and then passed on to project managers. If a project manager wishes to collect subscription fees off bill, they can request to do so. The subscriptions must fit within the capacity-based on-bill payment model or the production-based on-bill payment model. Regardless of whether the subscription fee offered by a project manager would charge a customer on a dollar per kilowatt basis or dollar per kilowatt per hour basis or through some other collection method, the project capacity requirements will be verified based on the subscription size belonging to each participant category relative to the AC capacity of the project. The capacity-based on-bill payment model is one option for project managers to collect payments from participants. It is based on the size of the subscription in kilowatts multiplied by the price per kilowatt to be charged to the participant each month multiplied by the percent by which the rate increases each year, paid in a monthly subscription payment. The production-based on-bill model is another option to collect payments from participants. It is based on the monthly kilowatt per hour generated multiplied by the price per kilowatt rate multiplied by the annual rate increase. Within the Community Solar Program, there are a few special project designations to provide additional community benefits and support. For example, you may qualify for the low-income project qualifications if 50% or more of the generating capacity of the project is to low-income participants, or that the subscription of participants is at least 50% to all participating. Additionally, if the project manager of 2 or more contractors or partners involved in developing, operating, or marketing the project are certified as a minority business enterprise, a women business enterprise, or a service-disabled veteran business may request a special workforce diversity designation. Furthermore, if a project is built on a site where development is complicated by real or perceived environmental contamination, including old landfills, former military, rail and heavy industrial facilities, and designated brownfield, they may request a special brownfield reuse designation. Lastly, projects that include farm use on the project site and obtain approval for dual use development may request a special dual agricultural use designation. Participant eligibility requirements. Oregon customers of Portland General Electric, Pacific Power, and Idaho Power are eligible to participate in the program. To participate, customers must meet the requirements, enroll in the project, and sign a subscription agreement with the registered project manager of the project. Customers who complete this process are considered participants. Participants will need to provide their utility information to confirm eligibility within the program and determine the size of the subscription appropriately. Each participant must be a customer of the electric utility to which the project is interconnected. Certain customers are not eligible for the program based on their utility customer classification as described in the Program Implementation Manual. The program administrator will verify the eligibility of all participants. A customer is defined at the site level and would include all utility meters at a single site that are associated within the same utility account. A participant may not subscribe to more than 2 megawatts of community solar capacity program-wide, and affiliated participants, such as different locations of the same business, may not subscribe to more than 4 megawatts in aggregate. Customers may not sign up for a community solar subscription that is expected to generate more energy than the customer would consume over the course of the year, and customers will not receive bill credits for excess generation. Project managers are responsible for working with participants to review their billing history and identify an appropriate subscription size. The program administrator will verify the subscription size of each program participant. Low income requirements. A minimum of 10% of each project capacity must be allocated to low-income customers for each project. Low income is defined as less than or equal to 80% of the Oregon State median family income. Subscription charges for low-income customers are capped at 80% of the bill credit rate for that utility, and we encourage greater discounts. Projects may request a waiver on this requirement if they are able to demonstrate that the waiver would allow them to serve more low-income customers and provide greater overall benefits to low-income communities. Project managers can choose to recruit their own low-income customers or request that the program's low-income facilitator recruit them on their behalf at no cost. Additional information on the role of the low-income facilitator is provided in a separate video in this training series. The customer service number is 1-800-481-0510 and the email address is info@oregoncsp.org. If you need to reach a member of the program administration team but don't have direct information, you can use this number and email address and you will be connected with the right person.